The Stockdale paradox holds that you must retain faith that you will prevail in the end, regardless of the difficulties, while at the same time you must confront the most brutal facts of your current reality, whatever they might be. The paradox was named after Admiral Jim Stockdale, who was the highest ranking United States military officer in the Hanoi Hilton prisoner of war camp during the height of Vietnam War. Stockdale was tortured more than 20 times during his 8 years of imprisonment. In his book Good to Great, Jim Collins describes his conversation with Stockdale after his release. Collins asked Stockdale how he survived. Stockdale explains, I never lost faith in the end of the story. I never doubted not only that I would get out, but also that I would prevail in the end and turn the experience into the defining event of my life, which, in retrospect, I would not trade. Collins then asks, who didn't make it out? Oh, that's easy, Stockdale said. The ones who said, we are going to be out by Christmas, and Christmas would come and Christmas would go. Then they would say, we are going to be out by Easter, and Easter would come and Easter would go, and then Thanksgiving, and then it would be Christmas again. And they died of a broken heart. This is very important lesson. You must never confuse faith that you will prevail in the end, which you can never afford to lose, with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of your current reality, whatever they might be. Stockdale describes how he admonished the others, saying, we are not getting out by Christmas, deal with it. What Stockdale experienced is a powerful phenomena. He never lost hope, but he was not in denial either. He didn't hide from the reality of his current situation. He didn't pretend or hold on to delusional positivity. Instead, he accepted the reality of his current situation, while at the same time never losing hope of things getting better. This in psychology is called the Stockdale paradox. In Islam, this is sabr, means patience, combined with hope. This is the believer in hardship. If we examine just one example of the prophets, we get a glimpse into the perfect balance. The dua of Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam is an amazing example of this phenomena. He was at his lowest point. He had lost his health, his wealth, and his family. At his hardest point, after 18 years of being tried, he turned to Allah and called out, وأيوب إذ نادى ربه أني مسني الضر وأنت أرحم الراحمين, and mentioned Job when he called to his Lord, indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful. Quran 21:83. There are several profound lessons to learn from the dua of Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam. First, he is not hiding his pain from Allah. He is not numbing it, and he is not pretending that it does not exist. He is not hiding from reality. He is turning to Allah with his pain and being honest and vulnerable. This is the first essential step towards healing, acknowledging the wound itself and then taking it to Allah to heal it. But what's especially powerful about his response in his home, in the midst of his greatest anguish, and you are the most merciful of the merciful. This is the attitude of a believer in hardship. When they see the darkness surround them, they didn't feign false positivity by pretending that it isn't dark in that moment. They acknowledge the darkness of the night, while at the same time having full hope and certainty that the sun will rise again, and their hope is ultimately in God. And you are the most merciful of the merciful. It is also essential that the believer does not try to set the time frame. Sabr requires submission to God's time frame, not ours. When a believer follows this process, Allah saves them every time. فاستجبنا له فكشفنا ما به من ضر وآتيناه أهله ومثلهم معهم رحمة من عندنا وذكرى للعابدين. So we responded to him and removed what afflicted him of adversity, and we gave him back his family and the light thereof with them, as mercy from us and a reminder for the worshippers of Allah. Quran 21:84. For the believer, the help of God always comes, but it is crucial to understand that it doesn't always come in the form we expect. Allah may not cure the sickness, but He could place tranquility in the heart of the sick. Allah may not change the situation externally, but instead change your heart. This phenomena is not about fake positivity or spiritual bypassing. It is about the real help of Allah, and that comes in this life. It is divine law. Inna ma'al usri yusra. Verily, with the hardship comes ease. Quran 94:6. The ease may not be in reference to the particular hardship. The dead do not come back to life. The sick may not survive. But the ease and help of Allah will come in other aspects of your life and inside you. Allah held together the heart of Musa, but she still had to part from her child. While Asiya alayhi salam was to be tortured, she was shown her place in Jannah, so she smiled just before leaving this world. Maryam alayhi salam was given dates as comfort from Allah in the midst of pain so great that she wished she had died and been forgotten. When the companions were suffering from war, death, torture, and starvation, Allah says, remember when He covered you with drowsiness, as tranquility means descending from Him, and sent down water from the sky to cleanse you, to remove Satan's pollution from you, to make your heart strong and your feet firm. Quran 8:11. In the Battle of Uhud, the Muslims experienced a similar experience as described our Al Imran 3:154. On both occasions, when their conditions should have produced intense fear and panic among them, God filled their hearts with such peace and tranquility that they were overpowered with drowsiness. Sometimes the ease and the help of Allah is in keeping you feet firm and giving you internal peace. For example, the people of the ditch is a story mentioned in Surah Al-Buruj about a group of believers who were placed in a ditch and killed by their tyrannical ruler. These believers were still killed, but the help and ease with that Allah kept their feet firm means istiqama, and they died with their first faith strong. In fact, narrations tells us that one of the women was holding her newborn child and was about to retreat. Then Allah made her child speak and reassure her that she was on the truth for them. The help of Allah came in keeping their hearts firm, even in the face of tyranny. For a believer, God gives ease in this life and the next. Even when death comes to the believer, there is ease in the departing of the soul. Surah Al Naziat, and in the grave and hereafter. I have a close friend who had to watch three of her children die slowly in front of her eyes due to a rare genetic disorder called MPS. And while she was going through all that, she told me she was drowning in gratitude. It's not a cliche, but Allah did something miraculous in her heart, and that is the ease, that is the miracle. Several years ago, I reconnected with Dr. Jitmaud, my principal from a school I used to teach at. While speaking with him, I found out that his son had recently been murdered while delivering pizza. What my principal said next absolutely shocked me. Dr. Jitmaud told me that he wanted to meet the murderer so that he could forgive him. He wanted to tell him about Islam because he wanted the murderer to be in the same place with his son in the hereafter. These incidents are not fairy tales, they are real. They are the sign of what the help of God looks like in this life, and these are the signs of the miracles that the truth, faith, and reliance can do inside the heart.